So next on our agenda, very timely again, amazing how this happens. We have some details from this company, GHD, on the MTO interchange. And so I've got details I'm willing to share with you today, and anything over and above that, GHD has agreed to field any questions. And so I would suggest let's collect any questions at the end of tonight that this content doesn't answer, and then we'll make a point of following up to make sure that we get great details for you. So we've really organized the updates in two different manners. One is really dealing with kind of the highways and the major roads, and then we've got a secondary slide that's talking about more of the arterial type roads. So in relation to North Service Road, there is still some remaining work around the noise barrier, the west side of Ogden Bridge. It's expected to be done late November, which we're getting close to that. So, yeah, and it's talking about Westfield and noise barrier at Harvest, both completed in early summer 2026. On South Service Road, the last unfinished section is between Hague and Ogden. That's scheduled to be done at the end of midsummer 2026. Britanno Boulevard still needs final asphalt, markings, and electrical work, all planned for early to midsummer 2026, and driveway work finished by early December. So I'm assuming when they're talking about Britanno, it's probably your end of the cul-de-sac opposed to my end. I don't think they're going to pave all of Britanno, although that would be wonderful if they did. In fact, when they were working in the field, they had taken before and after pictures of the status of the roadways and that type of thing to make sure that the trucks that were running in and out weren't necessarily causing damage. And it's something that I think as they're going to wrap up the project, they'll be able to give the community some sense of whether there's any additional road work that needs to be done as a result of the heavy trucks and things that have been on Britanno. For stormwater ponds, Pond A remains work in landscaping to be done by early mid-summer 2026. And the southeast and northeast ramps to the Toronto-bound QEW are on track to open November 24th, weather permitting. We've got a secondary slide here talking about the service roads. So looking at the service roads in adjacent areas, on the North Service Road, final paving and marking between Westfield and Dixie are complete. Few items remain. The noise barrier west of Ogden Bridge will be completed the week of November 24th. Both the landscaping near Westfield and the noise barrier at Harvest Road are scheduled for early summer. You know what? I think yeah.
You read it twice.
Yeah, sorry. I think on the previous slide I had, yeah. Anyways, I'm happy to share these slides with the residents and any of the details that are in them. Where anybody has any questions, please feel free to send them to us. We're happy to take them down tonight or provide you with an email address that you can send stuff in, and they've committed to answer any questions that you would have in relation to the project on a whole, and whether it's related to certain poles, timing of a lane, anything that directly relates to this project. That's really their job, is to manage that. And so, you know, we'll give you an email address that you can kind of follow up on. On this particular site up there, you will see that Graham's email address and phone number. I have included that. That's his direct cell phone. I'm sure you won't appreciate me doing that, but that's the role he's in. And for me, quite honestly, it's something that if we have concerned citizens that can't get a hold of him, then it's just one more way that you can do it. So I would suggest reach out often and be that squeaky wheel. You'll get the answers that you're looking for. All right. So back into some of the fun stuff here. You want to advance? Okay, so just a quick year in review. We tend to have sort of a set list of events that we've sort of proven out that tends to work for the community, that we've figured out over the last few years. And outside of that, we've got a number of draws as well. This past year was very similar to what we've done in the past. And basically starting with our AGM last November, we built some momentum through full calendar events, from deck to streets, different winter activities. We had a skating day with the ice rink, a family skate day, which was well attended. That's something that we would look to do this year as well, weather permitting. I think it's just a great opportunity to really leverage an asset that the city gives us, and by including a liner, we can really extend the life of that season and create a lot more value to the children and adults that use it. So that's part of the plan for this year as well. We had the Family Day draw. Throughout the spring, we continued with community favorites such as the Easter egg hunt. It's something that I'm amazed. That's one that really blows my mind, where there's brand new families and so many kids, and it's just such a great thing to see. We had Mother's Day draw, neighborhood garage sale. Summer, we had the Father's Day draw. We had a traffic meeting with Councillor Dasco, who had spearheaded that, followed by the Sherway Ice Cream Day. In the fall, we had our main event that we have all come to love, the Sherway Family Fun Day, and followed by the Pumpkin Food Drive event, and finally the annual Pumpkin Walk in November. So overall, it was just a good year filled with different events, lots of opportunity for neighbors to connect, and different opportunities for other people to get involved, volunteer, and basically support the community. And so now I'm going to turn it over to our newly elected treasurer, Romeo Sinawi, to present on membership and financials.
Okay.
The floor is yours.
Thanks. I'm going to try using this new toy for this now.
Does it work? Yeah. All right. Yeah, let me stand over here. Let's see. Okay, so our membership. I mean, I shouldn't be talking to you guys about membership because you guys are all here, you're all members. But we can see from the slide that was created, membership is down this year. It's declined year over year. And it has a slightly financial impact, but we're still able to put on all the events we have put on for the last few years. But I'd like to say also now we've got additional members on the board with Matt and Jamie, and we forgot to mention Susan, who last year as a director helped out with communication. So we got some new blood. We're going to come up with some ideas, maybe new ideas, ways to increase membership. In 2023, we had a group that spearheaded membership. We were going door to door, handing out flyers. We managed to have an increase in our membership, and I guess people forget. We have their email. We send reminders out, but they forget to join or are not interested. I mean, you guys here that are members, you all get $20. You live in the neighborhood, you can afford the $20. Getting that message across to everyone else, and what you get for your $20, you get the ice cream day, you get burgers for your family, you get the pumpkins, you get, it's crazy, not being a member. But anyways, we're going to work on that, see if we can increase our membership. So you can see in 2023 we had 239, we went to 222, this year 202. And again, I mean, I just said it, it's written up there, what you get for your $20. The draws, the family fun day, the deck the streets where we get prizes donated, or we source out prizes and have draws. yesterday morning, 8 o'clock, I got a phone call. We have secured our brake liner for this year. So weather permitting, we'll set it up and we can have, you know, we get good weather or good bad weather, whatever you want to call it, a lot of snow. We can have a nice rink going again. Last year was crazy, what, 2.5 months with the snow we had that was used. You know, we had about 10 volunteers that go out at night and take care of the ice. What else do we have? Yeah, so that's now happening. We're going to have the liner. Hopefully, if we get it, we'll use it. If we get enough snow, if not, we're going to have to save and use it next year. Yeah, so that's it about the, I guess, the membership. It's down, but we're gonna, with new blood and everything, we're gonna try and see if we can come up with ways to get it going again and increase it. Okay, that's it for that slide. Okay, so now on to our financials. So our revenue is, I don't have last year's, but revenue is pretty much the same as last year, considering we have a decline in membership, 202 versus 222. John Kelly gave us additional funds this year. And where basically that comes from is we've got our membership dollars, corporate donation, John Kelly and Tara Pure gave some money for the rink. And we had a little bake sale that Sophie puts on every year. So with the decline in membership, increase in John Kelly, pretty much the same as far as revenue goes. Expenses for our events, roughly exactly the same. To be exact, we actually spent $500 less on expenses this year versus last year. Partially because we had for family fun day, Carla Corsi, the other agent in the neighborhood, she put the bill for the face painter or the balloon maker, one or the other. They're roughly the same cost. So that helped keep our costs down. Versus last year, we basically actually didn't do as bad. We only lost $250 this year. Last year, we somewhere around $700 we lost. Okay, so that's it for our income. And now for our balance sheet, where we stand as far as what we're worth. And cash-wise, $750 less than last year when you include our investment and our cash. So we're a little bit less. Our accounts payable, we didn't collect any money so far this year for 2026 membership other than tonight. Last year, some people had paid in advance, so we really, if we were to cease operations on the 31st last year, that money would have had to go back to the member. So that's why we had that liability. This year we didn't collect anything, so we don't show that. So our payables are less, and then we see our income for the year. Yeah, so basically that's it. The only notes I put is that we spent less money, or we had less payables this year, and our cash is a little less for those reasons.
Are there any questions for Romeo in regards to financials or membership? Okay, so with that, let's pass a motion to approve the financials for the year. And yeah, so can I have a motion? Okay, second, yep, perfect. Okay, so the motion's carried, the financial statements are approved, thank you. All right, some more fun stuff. So many of you in the room have lived through this and have been residents for much longer. I think I'm on my 14th or 15th year. But it's amazing that, I'm sure next year's turning 50. It's something that, Stevie, you can probably attest to, that there's not, many sort of associations like us in the city, and just the fact of the types of things that we've done and just the history and legacy that this organization has had from its sort of humble beginnings. I think I had first heard that there was a development that was coming in, and for that reason, someone in the city had nudged the first president, who really formed a group and had, kind of created that sort of collective voice, and that was the initial need. And since then, over the years, there's been countless activities and different things that SOAR has really stood for. When it comes to things like developments and putting on different types of events and really being that sort of collective voice. It's perhaps a sign of the times and where we are right now with our current provincial government, but I think we have less power than what we've had in past years. I think Shora remains diligent because we've got sort of that big sort of social and events component to it. We're at a point where there's many associations like us that are really struggling for a purpose. I've had conversations with people in the city that are really, their job is to work with groups like us, and I've had many conversations with other peers from other associations across the board. And with the current provincial government taking power away from the city, we have less power and less influence, and it's just the way it is. But the fact that we've been around for 50 years is something that's amazing, and we have an opportunity to celebrate that next year. And really, what that looks like, we would love some feedback from you folks. We have applied for a grant for Family Fun Day for next year. We'll know in a few months sort of where that ends up, and that's just sort of the start. There's other ideas that we've had that may range from setting up a street party and doing something along that line to kind of benches and tree planting and things that we can sort of do, through to perhaps something on a more sort of formal setting where we get together as a collective group and sit down and really kind of celebrate. But I think we've got that rare opportunity in front of us. And so we'll look at forming different types of committees for the 50th. And so if anybody has any ideas, Stephen will be coming back trying to pick your brain as well and seeing what others have done and those types of things. But I really wanted to kind of recognize that. For me, it's, I don't know, it's just something that it's special, right? The fact that we are doing this. And so anyways, something to be proud about. Next slide here, call for volunteers. This is not new. This is something that we need for everything that we tend to do. There's always opportunities to get involved in Shore, and whether it's like the two gentlemen that are new VPs, kind of stepping up and making kind of a longer term commitment, or flipping burgers for a day, right? There's all kinds of different things that we tend to do. And so it's great opportunity to really to meet new people in the neighborhood, to get involved, and to be part of the social fabric that is really part of our community. And so for those that have volunteered, thank you very much. And if there's anybody that has some additional time that wants to get further involved, please let us know, and we're happy to find something and some way of using additional help. So with that, thank you. Moving on to our so the next major thing that we're doing, it's 24 Days of Giving is what we've called it. It will be our second year. It's a hybrid of kind of our Deck the Streets contest, but we just felt that in the past we would give away 30 prizes at once, and we're so close to Christmas, and not many people really were able to get involved, or if you didn't win, you didn't really care about it, right? And so what we're trying to do is to do weekly rounds of prizes, and to every week in December we're going to be announcing winners from every day of the week, and you know, kind of handing out prizes and that type of thing. So it's something that we are really excited about. The holiday lights are up. On my way here, I had seen several homes that were already decorated, so the spirit's definitely here. And I think it's a great opportunity for people to celebrate the holiday. It's kind of winding down the year, and you know, members are definitely included in the draw. And yeah, if there's any questions in regards to that, please let us know. But we'll be making announcements on Facebook, and we tend to do emails as well on you know, the prizes that are given out. And you simply have to be a member. It's that easy. We collect donations for prizes, and we also will purchase certain prizes. But in past years, we've given away over $3,000 worth of gear, and that all comes from your $20 donation. So it's just another way that members are really rewarded for getting involved. And so expect that to start on December 1st. So that's coming up. And with that, I wanted to open up the questions from the group. Anything that anybody has in mind? Yep.
I remember seeing documents when I first moved in the neighborhood that the original board and Sherway included former Argo coach Leo Cahill. And can anyone? No.
Different Leo.
Okay. Just saying. I thought that was curious.
Colonel Sanders is across.
Yes, Colonel Sanders was across. He's always going to the last of the hockey restaurant.
Yeah.
He was down. He's still
Yes.
Still
Yeah, no, Leo did live in the neighborhood, was actually my neighbor for a number of years, but yeah, different. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought that was important.
Any other questions? And yeah, John?
Maybe not a question, but Dave and I will be around. Even if it's not necessary to be looking for more people, but just people in the neighborhood on those key streets to be sounding boards,
Yeah.
to say, okay, we met with the city. Here's what we've been told. Your thoughts. So you know, the more people we have on this, the better.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, and really, it'll be your actions to get involved it'll really demonstrate to the city and others about how serious we feel this issue is, right? If we don't have anything coming out, then maybe it's not an issue, and
Right.
if there's lots of people that are concerned, then you know, let's figure out how we address it. And I've got full trust in our councillor and his ability to address this. And you know, I recognize what you said earlier, Stephen, in regards to kind of the MTO project, and right now, kind of with the construction going on, it's difficult to really see what it's going to be like post-construction. And so, you know, we may need to wait part of that, but I think in the meantime, if there's work that the local, you know, committee can do, and maybe we can get some direction from you on what makes sense, or what will work, what doesn't. I don't want to see any resident waste time or have some sort of expectation that's not real. And so I think having that for sort of initial meeting will help sort of set the stage in terms of what the future would look like for that. So yeah, we can take a look at tabling, you know, a possible agenda for whatever meeting that would be. Yeah. Any other questions? Yes.
And Jamie, you should well know, living on Brentano, it is a raceway, and it's not just what Sherway did, but a lot of.
Absolutely.
And Denise.
Yeah.
Brentano is a major speedway still, and a lot of it is resident.
Yes, there's several repeat offenders, right? And it is what it is. You know, it's a problem probably everywhere.
It's the only street in the subdivision that has 5 intersections and not one stop sign.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yep. No, I think it's something that's worth having that overall you know, talk about it, and let's figure out what makes sense, right? yeah, you're gonna have two schools of thought. You're gonna have people that are, you know, here concerned, that really care about it, and then you're gonna have others that sort of don't really see coming into your neighborhood any different than what they would do, you know, in any other kind of neighborhood. And you know, I've been accused of having a bit of a lead foot at times, but I try to be very cautious of where I am and what I do.
I've seen you.
Yes. Yes. But yeah, no, it's one of those things where you know, within your own community, you have to be aware of your surroundings, and you know, it's just something that I think if we put some more thought into and focus, we can try to tackle it. And, you know, you can't please everybody, but I think it's a worthy cause and something that we should be focusing on. Yeah. All right, any other questions from anyone? All right, well, please join me in welcoming our 2025 board. Thank everybody for volunteering. Right, so let's adjourn this meeting. Let's have a motion for adjournment. Okay, seconded, perfect. Thank everyone for coming out, really do appreciate it. It really makes things better for us when we know that there's people out there that care enough to attend, and you know, you've got some fresh blood that are coming out as a result of that as well, and so we really appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Jamie.